All right, so today we're going to put aside the usual high-speed thrillers, the ones with all the shocking twists. Instead, we're diving into a book by Allen Levi called Theo of Golden. And this story, well, it asks us to do something that feels pretty radical these days. Just slow down.
And that's a big question, right? I mean, our lives are just full of noise, alerts, notifications, this constant pressure to go, go, go. But this book, it suggests a totally different path. It's saying that maybe, just maybe, the real answers aren't in all that chaos, but in the quiet moments we so often miss.
So, Theo of Golden, it's not a book that's going to scream for your attention. It just doesn't have to. It's really more of an experience, It's like an invitation to start paying a different kind of attention, not just to what's on the page, but to everything happening around you.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how does a book with basically no plot end up being so powerful? Let's get into it. Let's break down what makes this quiet way of telling a story so incredibly unique.
We're so used to just blazing through stories, trying to get to the end as fast as possible. But this is where Theo of Golden is completely different. It's not something you finish, it's something you experience. Think of it less like a roller coaster and more like a really good long conversation that just sticks with you.
Now, at the heart of this pretty unconventional story is a protagonist who's just as unconventional. So let's talk about him. Who exactly is Theo?
Well, on the surface, Theo seems totally ordinary. He's not a detective, he's not some chosen one, definitely not a celebrity. He's just a guy living his life in a small town. He's kind of just there, observing, existing.
And that right there, that's his real power. See, most heroes we read about are all about action, dominating every scene. But Theo's strength, it's in his stillness. He's the one who creates the space for everyone else's story to come out. He's not defined by what he does, but by this incredible ability he has to just listen.
So here's the key thing to get. Theo isn't actually the story. He's more like a lens. He's the lens that lets us see the real stories, all the regrets, the little kindnesses, the quiet secrets of everyone else in town. We're seeing Golden through his eyes.
All right, so we've got this really unusual character. Now let's talk about the writing itself, because how the story is told is a huge part of its magic. The style is every bit as quiet and deliberate as Theo.
And this quote just nails the feeling, doesn't it? The book doesn't really feel like a formal novel. It's way more authentic than that. It's like you're just sitting there and someone's sharing something really meaningful with you, with absolutely no pressure or pretense.
So the story isn't built on some big, dramatic plot. It's actually built from all these small moments. It might start with a simple conversation, or someone just thinking about a memory. And then these little, quiet connections just start to build, and before you know it, you're deeply, deeply invested in these people's lives. You won't find any flashy language here. The writing is just clean, direct. But don't let that fool you. That simplicity is deceptive. Every single word feels like it was chosen for a reason, and it creates these little ripples of meaning that stick with you long, long after you finish reading.
Okay, so we've got a quiet character and a really simple style. Where does that leave us? What does it all add up to? Well, this is where we get to the real heart of the book, its profound emotional core.
And here's why it matters to you. Because Theo of Golden, it's not just a story about some fictional town. It's actually holding up a mirror to our own lives. It's gently asking us, hey, look a little closer at the people and the moments usually just rush past.
These are the kinds of quiet reminders you'll find all through the book. It's all about how powerful human connection can be and the importance of really listening. It shows that real connection, it doesn't happen in the big dramatic moments. It happens in shared silences, in small acts of kindness. Those are the things that create the biggest ripples. And that's where the book really gets you. Its emotional punch comes from this deep feeling of recognition. The characters just feel so real, so human. You can't help it. You start seeing your neighbor, your aunt, or maybe even a little bit of yourself in these pages.
So after all this, the character, the style, the themes, what's the one thing you should really take away from this quiet, powerful book? What's the core message? It's simple, really. People matter, and their stories matter. That's it. In a world that's just moving way too fast for us to notice most of the time, this book is this gentle, constant reminder that every single person has a story, and that story is worth hearing.
Honestly, I can't think of a better way to put it. This isn't a book that demands your attention. It just quietly earns it. And it kind of proves that sometimes the most powerful stories are the ones that are whispered, not shouted. It leaves you wondering,
What quiet stories in my own life are just waiting for me to listen?